Celebrities do have a massive platform that can be very powerful in a positive way, but at times where they're sharing their own personal crisis, their primary concern should be themselves.
Being the center of attention means that everything you'll do will be examined under a microscope. This is the price of fame. After all, the life of a celebrity is under steady attention, which is why they enjoy dizzying highs and lows and equally destructive lows. Many times, famous Hollywood celebrities have destroyed their entire image and career due to their loneliness. Welcome back everyone to another video on our YouTube channel. Maintaining a solid career in Hollywood can be a job of hard work. Not only a bad movie can threaten to derail an actor's entire career, but everything that happens off screen can have an equally devastating impact. Today, with camera phones everywhere and a celebrity culture fueled by paparazzi and gossip, an actor's ability to keep working may hinge entirely on keeping out of trouble. Here are 10 celebrities who have ruined their careers, often at the height of their popularity. Number 10. Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid doesn't always receive the credit he deserves for being a big comedian. Sure, not all of his films were prestigious, but his work on Vacation, Kingpin, and even Independence Day films were pretty good. Plus, the guy was nominated for an Oscar in 1974. So, how did all that go wrong? In September 2009, Quaid and his wife, Evie, were arrested for failing to pay a $10,000 hotel bill. They were arrested again for illegally occupying a house that was theirs, and then they left the city and headed to Canada. Now, not paying your bills and squatting is odd behavior for a well-known actor, but nothing too crazy. In Canada, things have gotten worse. Although people assumed the Quaids were fleeing the law, they claimed they fled north to avoid the Hollywood Star Wreckers, a secret organization that eliminated celebrities or invented scandals to discredit them. Nobody knows why Quaid would be at the top of their list. Quaid told the Vancouver Press about the mysteries behind Star Wreckers and claimed Heath Ledger, David Carradine, and Chris Penn were the latest victims of their clique. After those unusual lawsuits, the Quaids were arrested and released formally again in 2015. Number 9. Jennifer Grey. When a resume has starring roles in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing, you must be a beloved 80s guy with a fantastic career ahead of you. Matthew Broderick and Patrick Swayze got it right, but what happened to Jennifer Grey? In case you haven't looked back on your 80s stars in a while, Grey was Bueller's sister in the John Hughes movie and the baby of Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner fame. Grey was known for her nose, but when her career slowed down a bit in the early 90s, she got a nose job. Her plastic surgery made her unrecognizable, which made casting even more difficult. She probably had to pull her identity card and an old blow to the head at every audition. Number 8. Katherine Heil. Katherine Heil is best known for her Emmy Award-winning role as Izzy Stevens in Grey's Anatomy. She has also starred in several romantic comedies including Knocked Up, 27 Dresses, The Bad Truth, Killers, Life as We Know It, and New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, the actress is known to speak ill of her projects in interviews. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she shocked fans when she accused Knocked Up of being a little sexist and said she paints women as shrews, humorless and tense, and paints men as lovable, silly, and funny and loving guys. She didn't learn her lesson. She refused to put her name up for Emmy's consideration for a season and publicly stated her material on her show that was not worthy of the award. Number 7. Paul Reubens. Pee Wee Herman, a man boy with a bow tie, was a big hit in the 1980s, being the subject of 2 feature films and an Emmy-winning children's television series. But the public perception of both the characters and the man behind him changed dramatically in 1991. During a visit to his parents in Sarasota, Florida, Reubens was arrested for lewd acts in an adult movie theater, and the sheriff's agents claimed to have seen him masturbate during the movie. The actor, 38 at the time, did not object and agreed to participate in a new drug campaign to avoid a trial for the criminal charges. Pee-wee's toys were withdrawn from shelves across the country, and Reubens withdrew completely from the public eye, disappearing for the rest of the 1900s. Number 6. Michael Richards. Actors who venture into the cabaret minefield need to make sure their routine doesn't negatively impact their career on screen, even if one thing that can never be fully predicted is the influence of those they interrupt. When Seinfeld's Michael Richards found himself in a battle of wits with a member of his audience during a live show in 2006, he made a split-second decision that destroyed his career in an instant. Richards responded to the man's criticism with a series of racist slurs, calling for for the expulsion of the African-American client from the club. Number 5. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was once one of Hollywood's biggest stars, with movie salaries that still rival some of the biggest deals today. He earned more than $20 million synchronously in 1998 for Lethal Weapon 4 and later directed the controversial blockbuster The Passion of Christ. But a history of alcohol problems finally caught up with him in the mid-2000s when particularly offensive speech was recorded during a DUI stop, which included anti-Semitic and sexist comments. Number 4. Ashley Simpson. Who could forget the time Ashley Simpson was caught lip-syncing on Saturday Night Live? In 2004, the singer was supposed to promote her autobiography album on SNL, but she instead entered SNL history as a lip-sync singer who danced to a weird jig and completely fooled herself. Many critics attribute this unfortunate failure as the beginning of Simpson's decline. Number 3. Lindsay Lohan. Being in the limelight is nothing unusual for Lindsay Lohan, who started working as a child model when she was only 3 years old. She soon made her forays into the world of acting with her steady place on the soap opera. Another thing was being noticed by Disney, which included her in their surprisingly successful 1998 remake of The Parent Trap. On May 26th, Lohan was taken to Beverly Hills Hospital after being in a car accident. The actress had recently been discharged from the Los Angeles Wonderland Center Rehabilitation Center for undisclosed problems, although the nature of these problems became very clear when Lohan was charged with DUI, possession of cocaine, and a crime of omission of rescue after the accident. If her career wasn't compromised this time around, it was surely when she was arrested on the same charges just 2 months later, days after another failed rehab period. The severity of her fall was highlighted by the critical response to her next film. Number 2. Paula Deen. Paula Deen was once the favorite mom of all cooking shows. A nice southern lady who loved good food and wanted you to love her too. This had led to stints in shows such as Top Chef, MasterChef Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, and a role in a real movie, Elizabethtown. But by 2012, the Deen empire had almost collapsed, thanks to the fact that her empress was quite racist. In 2012, Deen was sued by a former general manager of one of her restaurants, claiming that she used racial slurs like the N-word among workers and that she wanted to organize a Southern-themed wedding with black men who were interpreted as slaves. In testimony during the trial, the manager's attorney asked Deen if she had ever used the N-word before her. Deen replied, "Yes, of course." As for the slave marriage, she admitted it too, stating that she took the idea from another restaurant that found the concept beautiful and really impressive. Number 1. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was a rising celebrity. The Amanda Show star struggled with drugs and alcohol like many child stars before her, but what killed her career was her utter and complete collapse on Twitter about her in the weeks following her arrest. It was when a teenager was fired from McDonald's for tweeting how much she hated working there. She also tweeted Rihanna, teasing that Chris Brown hit you because you're not pretty enough. She called Miley Cyrus and Jay-Z ugly and scolded herself for being the same. All of this led to her being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she was hospitalized twice in a psychiatric facility, and her career was frozen. That's it from today's video. Press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.